What's up, small group leaders and hosts? Hope you guys are doing well. It's been a while since we've conversed, and so looking forward to walking you through a few things today. So I want to highlight first of all, super, super, super important. As Steve would say, look me in the eye. Look me in the eye, both of them. There we go. We have a small group leader celebration, and it's an award night too. We've never done this before. We're gonna have a lot of fun. It's on April 10th. It's in the email. Mark it down. Friday evening. If you're going on vacation, cancel it. If you're going to see your uncle that you haven't seen in 30 years, cancel it. This is going to be worth it. It's going to be a huge celebration night. In fact, we're having an Oscar theme, so we're dressing up. That's right. No flip-flops, no t-shirts. We are dressing up, looking good. We probably won't recognize each other, but we're going to have a great time. So looking forward to that. Get into it. There's going to be all kinds of surprises. It's going to be nuts. Tim James is a part of the planning team for this, so you know it's gonna be crazy. Bringing a little youth ministry flavor to it. But mark it down on your calendars. Get babysitting. Plan on staying maybe a little extra late and just kind of hanging out. But make sure you reply back. I believe that an evite's already been sent or will be soon. Make sure you reply back to that. Also want to let you know for our calendars, we only have 2 more weeks until break. So with that, start planning it out as far as how you want to end. It doesn't need to end like a normal semester where you're going to take a long break. So you might want to have a normal night, maybe mix things up, do a little worship, do some communion. There's been a few groups that have been doing date nights. So if you have all couples, makes it really easy as far as giving them an assignment. I have questions that I've given small group leaders to kind of guide the night, and then people come back together the next week and kind of share how that went. Now here's a little trick of the trade. If you tell people in advance that you're doing a date night, then what they might do is just stay home and kind of blow it off. So what you can do is actually surprise them. Don't say anything. Wait till everybody gets there, and then give them their assignment. Tell them to go take a walk, go get coffee, but surprise them so that way babysitting is already set, and they can't just stay home and watch TV. So I know, a little ministry trick. That's why that's why we go to seminary for things like that. Actually, I didn't go to seminary, so I don't know where I got that, but hopefully that helps you out. This week, want to encourage you with a couple things as we have the new format with our intersect and the rewind, and then how the questions are sort of discuss, decide, and do. Had great feedback. If you have any suggestions, any concerns, questions, please let us know. We want this to be something that's very understandable and useful for you. With the rewind, I want to encourage you with this. If the group wants to discuss the previous week and you see that it's kind of a hot topic or they've kind of really latched onto that, don't be afraid of really diving in as far as how do we apply the sermon, the scriptures, whatever it might be, and take your time there, especially if the group really seems into it. Also, for some groups, they were wondering when's the best time to do it, especially if it's a topic where maybe you don't want to share in front of the whole group how you applied it. So I'd encourage you, as far as when you split, do rewind in the split time. And that might be a little bit more helpful, especially on certain topics where you don't want to share with everybody how you've applied the previous week to your life. So just a heads up with that, utilize rewind either at the beginning or at the beginning of your split time. Also with verses, we've had quite a few feedback that people, they're starting to not read their verses in advance. And I want to encourage you with this. If you sense that, what I did with my small group last week is I just said, hey, raise your hand if you did not get a chance to really read through the verses. And a little over half the group didn't. So I just put a worship song on my phone. Actually, I have Spotify, so I just played a worship song off of that and gave people one worship song to kind of read through the verses so we can have intelligent conversation and people can really add to it. Also want to encourage you, for some verses, people, the verse might not hit them. Other ones, they might get something out of it. You might want to have them circle one verse, or as they read through all the passages, stick with one verse as far as one verse that really challenged them, encouraged them, convicted them, maybe give them a couple words to think through. But everybody has to share which verse meant the most to them and why. So that way you're not just going around reading the passages saying who got something out of this, and sometimes it can be kind of quiet or awkward. We don't want that. So giving them a specific assignment as they're reading, that might help as far as going through the Bible passages. With that said, last week we attached a podcast from a sermon. I think it was a video cast or a podcast, Matt Chandler, and he talked about how ministry should flow out of intimacy. is 25 minutes. If you didn't listen to it, take some time, grab your coffee, and listen to it. It's a great reminder for all of us, especially how we started off the year this year with talking about Sabbath and the importance of that. Sabbath really helps us to slow down, come before God, and He really works on our hearts so we can work on other people's hearts. And if we have that out of alignment, it's going to be tough to minister, to serve people, to be in the moment, and allow the Holy Spirit really to guide us in how to minister to people, who is our assignment and who is not our assignment. That really comes from the Holy Spirit. I've seen that, the power of it, just recently, where there's been one person in particular in my small group that's just tough for me to disciple. And I'm getting frustrated. I feel like they're not moving forward. I feel like there's wisdom there. I feel like there's opportunity for growth. And it's like the food's right in front of them and they're hungry, but they're like, oh, there's nothing to eat. You ever had that happen with your kid? All kinds of food. It's like, I don't want that. I want that. And I was reading just this week in my quiet time when Jesus got frustrated with the disciples. And he actually said, what am I going to do with you guys? And it reminded me, as far as the disciples were really raw. If we really think about it, probably none of them would be on our make our small group leadership team. And yet that's who Jesus chose. He took his time over years to disciple these guys. And then it still took years of the Holy Spirit working on them for them to really get it and be empowered and really get leadership. And you saw the church explode under these men. And so it's just a good reminder. Discipleship takes many years. It's not 2 weeks. It's not one meeting. And people are going to take 4 steps forwards, 2 steps back. Sometimes they're going to be in a season of just not getting it or immaturity. But we stay faithful even maybe when we don't see the fruitfulness. But that's God's job. Our job is just to be faithful. So it's just a good reminder to me. And it gave me patience this week. And I was glad I had my quiet time. I felt like if I would have skipped it, I might have been a little snappy with this person. And so just remember, when it comes to ministry, that flows out of intimacy. That's the foundation. Make sure you're having your Sabbath, your quiet time, early in the morning, going for a walk at lunch, listening to worship music, opening the scriptures, reading through James, memorizing, getting coffee with someone that really encourages you to pray with them and talk through things. Whatever it might be, find what it takes for the Holy Spirit really to just work on your heart and your soul so you have clarity to work with and work on other people. All right, I hope this encourages you guys. Appreciate you so much. Looking forward to our celebration. Go get your dresses. Go get your tuxedos. Go get your suits. We're going to have a good time. Take care, you guys.